Welcome to the Whitetail Advantage Podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
What is up, guys? This is Brett Bovin, and this is a show not just for hunters, but all outdoorsmen alike. And welcome to the motherfucking electronic campfire. Now, before we kick things off into the real actual show, we get everything to them, we have a couple things we want to say here. We are not politically correct. We cover topics not just in hunting, but everything in society, and we speculate what's true and not true and discuss how we, the people, need to fix these problems that we face. Now, we have shows within the show. What I mean by that is on Sundays, we cover, it's a round table type segment. We can bring guests on, or it's just the four of us, whatever we want. And we talk about all variety of different topics that we face in hunting and outdoors as well. And Tuesday's show, we cover a specific state, and we bring a guest that lives and hunts in that state, and we discuss everything that we need to know about in the ins and outs about that state as well. So just to get a good hunting atmosphere of what's going on in that state. So we do a live show on Sundays and Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube page. Now, we love to conduct these live shows because we want to give everyone out there the opportunity to interact with us as well as the guest right there on the spot. So we encourage everyone to comment whatever you want to comment during our live show here, because then we'll see the comments there. We'll have fun with it, interacting with you guys during the show. And some we might even pop up here on the screen while we're having the live show as well. So we encourage everyone out there to comment whatever you want to comment, and we're excited about that. Another aspect of the show is we don't run ads. We don't run ads from certain companies. Now, we have partnered with companies and we do our own type of ads. However, as I mentioned before, we are not politically correct. We have partners. Like I said, we have partners, but no matter what, we speak our minds and don't hold anything back. We will not be controlled in any way. We say what we want, basically, and we are unapologetic and unafraid of that. Like I said, we are tired of the fake woke cancel culture that we live in, shadow banning that we face every day. So we need more Americans to stand up to this fake leftist, communist culture that's being narrated out there these days. Another thing that we have here on the show, we have a saying. We have two sayings, really. First one is, put your quarter in a slot machine. What I simply mean by that is just to help share the show. That's all I ask of everybody out there. See someone walking down the street, or you're texting a buddy, hey, Whitetail Advantage Podcast, they do a live show. Like I said, we don't just cover topics in hunting. We also cover topics in the outdoors, elk hunting, moose hunting, everything. We'd love covering everything. Granted, we are more geared towards whitetails, but yes, we love to cover everything. So we're not just geared down towards that. So put your core in the slot machine, help share the show. So we ask everybody out there. As always, we want to say thank you to all our men and women in the military for their service. We are greatly appreciative for that, along with all the policemen, firefighters, nurses, doctors, and corrections officer, everyone in public service. We want to say thank you for your service. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Now, do not forget, no excuses, just results. Now, let's kick things over to the guys, and let's really get this show on the road here.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Sorry, Brett's not here today. It's me, John. All right, so tonight it's February 4th. We have our guest, the Stash Squatch, coming from Virginia tonight. But before that, don't forget, guys, our contest is now running through February 14th with ambush snap packs. Go ahead, jump on our Instagram, follow the instructions down there, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. Rules are in the description. You're going to get some awesome gifts from them. I believe it's 2 different bags. We all have them here, and they are amazing. Actually, they're so good, my kids ran off with mine, so we need to order some more. But that being said, let's go ahead and bring everybody on. Hello, producer. Bring them in.
I'm working on it. Give me a second. Jeez.
All right. What is going on, guys? How are you guys doing tonight?
Hello.
Dandy on my side.
All right.
I'm sad.
You're sad. I'm sorry, Brett, but this isn't your show tonight. So
You're sad sack.
I'm sad for two reasons. Well,
what's that?
the other reason is more of a happiness. I'm sad because I don't have my typical. I didn't get that for tonight. And I'm sad / happy Dave's not here.
As he's listening, I'm sure.
Bro, yeah.
All right. Stash Squatch, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from tonight?
So I live in Virginia. I'm on kind of the eastern side of the mountainous region, which puts me pretty much central in the state. Born and raised right here. I grew up about 2 miles from where I bought my first house. So haven't gone very far. Obviously hunting started early for me, but it didn't really take off until the high school sports and powerlifting got out the way. So that put me about 18, taking hunting seriously, and it's been pretty much all I can think about ever since.
That will happen, man. It's a very expensive addiction, I should say. Yeah.
Yep. For
nice.
sure.
So how's your season so far this year? Or this past year?
Yeah, I was gonna say season's over for us here. But it was really good. It's hard to describe because I don't have the rack to show for it. But I killed my first with the recurve. I keep forgetting that, but that was a super fun hunt. Killed it in a pair of jorts and a green shirt, and so it was cool. And then I kind of set off into the mountains, and I had 3 encounters that were so close, with just awesome bucks that I would have been super happy to kill. One of which was a deer that I chased for 3 years, and I had him at 15 yards for about 15 minutes, and just couldn't squeak a shot through. And he bested me that time, and ended up getting shot by some bear hunters. So that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Had a really nice 135-inch, 140-inch 10-pointer come by at 5 yards, and my stand was probably about 4 feet high in the tree. I elected to walk him for reasons when we get into regulations I can elaborate. But yeah, it was a good season in terms of encounters for like a blue collar dude, like I'm sure you guys are. I got family. I got 2 young kids, a wife, work all the time, and I volunteer in the fire department as well. So hunting, although it's my priority when it comes to my life, not always the case. So,
right.
And that's what we pride ourselves on here, where, like Brett and we were all talking before the show, like family's always first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as I would love to be in the woods every single day, and I try my best, family's got to come first for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Happens here. And on top of that, my wife also loves to hunt. And this year she was determined to kill one with a longbow. Got really, really close multiple times. Did not happen. So we try to split time as best we can.
Oh, right on.
Yep.
Hey, Zach, I wanted to say thanks for your service, though, man, for being a firefighter. I tried doing that when I was a kid. So we had this Votech type place, basically to kind of like the trades to kind of like get pre-started into that type of level of work.
Yep.
And I wanted to be a cop, which I ended up doing that for 7 years. And I tried the fire academy type class. I was claustrophobic. I could not put that freaking helmet on. I had to do firefighter training though, and I just had to suck it up because suck it up and shut the fuck up, basically. And I hated every second of it. So,
man, I can't lie. The first time I put my the hood on and the mask and everything, it's a little nerve wracking. And then they'll black it out to do some tests and some drills, and you better get your mind right, especially those first couple times.
I remember one time
it's claustrophobic.
I remember one time we had to, our masks were all blacked out, and you had to work with a partner, and one would grab a hold of one's foot, and you had to crawl all the way around the side of the room. Like you had to go,
Yep.
like basically do a whole U thing around the whole room. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that shit again.
No, when you guys do your mask, you have to like seal it, and I've never worn a firefighting mask, but we used to have the protective mask or the gas mask in the Army. So you'd put it on, you'd seal it, and make sure it was all set. You guys have to do that too with the firefighter masks, or?
Yep. So you're supposed to cover the air hole, and
Yep, with
when
the
you
chin.
inhale, it'll suck to your face, and that's when you know it's seated properly.
Okay.
I would have a problem with that. I think it just wouldn't seal.
So that's where this came, man. 10 years ago, I shaved that dude. I got a hell of a beard. I got a picture during an injury. I grew it out, and I looked like Rick Ross at the beach, man. It was pretty cool. But yeah. So that's when this was all started. It was my wife's 21st birthday, and she loved the beard. But I had my first fire academy, and so it boom. There went the beard, and in came the mustache, and it's kind of been a thing ever since. So
nice.
I have the best one here, okay? The best mustache, the best beard. So
Did you fall down? I'm sorry.
The best mustache, the best beard. It's so luxurious and amazing.
You shaved with our Hershey bar, man.
See, Zach, what happens sometimes is Brett falls down before the show. And he hits his head, and then he gets delusional, and he starts thinking he has like a cool beard like me, a cool stash like you, and he just got a pumpkin head. So
yeah.
Oh my God. Well. Hey, I gotta ask though, since we got the Squatch and we had the Stash Squatch, who here believes in Sasquatch?
I do.
Ooh,
I do.
There's something out there. I don't think it's one though. I think.
There's more than one. There's more than one.
I have heard some stories from people telling my buddy Cody some crazy encounters with Bigfoot, big feet. But they called them skunk apes down in the
down
swamps.
in Florida and yes, sir.
Yep, some wild stories that sounded too detailed to not have some weight to them.
Mm-hmm.
Flavors of the Forest and Justin both, they believe in Sasquatch.
My old man was chased by one in 1969.
Damn.
And that's legit. My grandparents told me the story. My aunts and uncles told me the story. Everybody swears to it in the family when they were alive and stuff. It really freaking happened. That's why I'm the Squatch, because we had that history with the Squatch, and I'm in the woods. I'm still looking for him. If he ever comes up upon me, he'll be in the bed of my truck taking a freaking dirt nap.
Hell yeah.
Go, man.
Yep.
Anthony believes in it too.
All right, Anthony. There you go.
That's right. You gotta see his beard now. That's impressive. All right, so back onto the hunting stuff, man. So what's your typical setup at, Zach, for your bow? Like what?
So I'm shooting an RX-8. It's an 80-pounder. And had my buddy Pope, as we were talking about it before the show. He's got some Arrows Anonymous Addict arrows. They are 250 spine, and they're pretty cool. I got my own little wraps on there. But yeah, 80 pound, about I think it's 29 3/4 inch draw.
Nice.
So they're flying off there pretty good.
Good.
And I've never had to worry about penetration issues. So that's pretty much it. I'm shooting our Lone Wolf. I work for Lone Wolf in addition to my family's construction company, and I shoot our arrowheads. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're actually aluminum, and they knock a freaking hole in them.
Yeah,
I will tell you that.
Yeah.
Love that bow. For 80 pounds, it doesn't feel like 80 pounds. If you guys haven't shot one, you should check it out.
That's I used to shoot the old school Hoyt Carbon Spider, and I absolutely love that bow. And then last year I finally upgraded to my very first brand new bow, no longer like hand me downs or anything. I got the Elite Era, the carbon bow, and I love that thing, man. Oh, go
Is
ahead.
it pretty light?
Super light. And this past season up here in Michigan, man, it was down into the fives. I know it's 5 degrees. What, 2 weeks ago, it was like minus 20. And I was still out hunting in it. And it was, my buddy sold me on it because your hands don't get as cold as on the aluminum. And I was like, oh, I never even thought of that. So up here where it gets brutally cold, it's so much nicer on my hands.
I thought that was a funny reason, but it's damn nice. Yeah.
I thought it was a stupid reason too. And yeah, my hands stay warmer, so it gets me out there longer.
I hate gloves, and I sell film. So I've had a couple long standoffs in the late season here with no gloves, and I'm holding I had a Venom Pro, still got it. And it's aluminum. And then my other hand is sitting over here on my fluid head trying to film, and eventually both of your hands just freeze completely.
You have no feeling? Oh, they're horrible.
It sucks, and it's hard to shoot like that. So
it is.
Not that, you can still get cold, but it doesn't radiate through your hand as bad with the carbon for sure.
And I've said this before on the show, and I'm going to say it again tonight, but as soon as my hand, like my fingers and my toes turn cold, I turn into a little bitch, man, and I'll be out of the woods fucking quick. But if I can keep my fingers warm, I'll be out there all day.
You're not going to give him crap for that, but you're going to give me crap for sleeping in sometimes?
Because everyone's fingers get cold. And it's either
same here, but I suck it the fuck up, you baby.
Oh, hey, I've been out there for a while now. But again, Brett, it's not a show about us tonight.
Yeah, right? How the hell do your fingers get cold underneath the electric blanket?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So now, Zach, what type of hunter are you, man? Like, we got saddle hunters on here. We got tree stand hunters. We got people who hunt from their beds.
No. Yeah, I'm a tree stand guy. So I work for Lone Wolf, like we said here, and I use the little 0.5. It's a tiny little tree stand, and I like it a lot. But I never could get down with the saddle. I tried it for a couple of years, and it just, I don't know. My feet are as big as the platforms, and I didn't really care for it very much. So I got a Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5, and I'm using the new 17-inch 2 double steps that nest on there. It's like I don't know. The whole setup's like 8.5 pounds. It's not much.
Oh man, that's crazy.
And it packs super light, super compact, and I can put my pack on the little frame shelf. It's pretty much for hiking up and down in these mountains.
Yeah.
That profile not sticking up is huge. I used to rock the Summit Viper like everybody else down my way. At least it was like if you didn't have a Summit, you were nobody.
But
that thing, yeah, it is a great stand. But that profile being so huge, they're 22 pounds or something, 28 pounds, which the weight doesn't bother me. I power lifted, not a small dude.
No,
but that profile sucks, and
it's going hits everything.
Tickets and stuff
on your back.
It is, yeah. Yep. So this little stand here with the sticks that I got set up on it, which I don't have here, but I got one. But it pretty much stays behind my head and down. So if I can fit through, there's no problems with it fitting through too, which is huge. I mean, thickets are where the gold is in my world.
Nice. I was just going to ask. So, being up in the mountains and everything like that, what's your terrain and environment like while you're hunting? What areas are you hunting in?
The mountain that I hunt, I have to ascend 2,000 feet of elevation, whether it's with a 4-wheeler or an e-bike or on foot, to get to the top, which is where the access is to all the finger ridges down below. Nice. There's no access from the bottom except for one point, which is why we have to go that far. And so, I hunted a lot this year in a hellhole, which would mean I had to go way down into it and then herc around. And I found a lot of, I had some encounters down there, and it was definitely ate up with bucks and less people, so it was worth it. And I will be doing that again. And then other than that, my mountain is it's got to be at least 70% covered with like briars and laurel. It's probably more than that. It's probably like 85%. So in 3,000 acres, you got a shitload of food and a shitload of bedding and shitload, like, you know, it's super thick. There's a lot of hands and knees crawling to get through it. And it can be a bitch, but you know, you got to be able to get through it, and you got to be able to navigate and find kind of these little hot pockets where you can spend weeks without seeing much of anything.
Now, so we got a question here from Justin Cornwall. What's the weight of that stand that you're running?
So the Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5 is about 5.5 pounds plus your pack straps and seat cushion. So it's I think fully rigged, it's right at 7 pounds, and the sticks are a hair over a pound. These two, and I only use 2 sticks with our little cabelators on them. So I'm probably, let's say 9 pounds. Either way, it's real light. The whole setup. Now we got all kinds of stands, like this guy right here. This is a 2.0. This is our biggest one. And it's freaking huge. It's larger than the old Lone Wolf Alphas. If you're familiar with those, there's the Assault, and then the large one was the Alpha. This one is larger than that, and it's 11 pounds.
Man.
So, and I think the Alpha was like 15 pounds. Plus they have a ton of features, and all the sticks integrate with the stands as well, like ports, and you know, I could go off on a long tangent about tree stands, but we're super light.
Nice. Yeah. So now when you're out like preseason, all right, so we'll jump back here for preseason. Are you doing a lot of e-scouting? Are you just going out, putting boots on the ground?
Yeah, so I really only believe in boots on the ground. I mean, you can e-scout all you want. I e-scout some when obviously going like on a trip, because you're sitting here, not there, so you're thinking about it. But when it came to hunting the mountain that I hunt, which is a private piece, I will throw that out there. But there's a lot of other people that hunt it too. So for what that's worth, there's trails all over it. People ride their 4-wheelers all over it. And pretty much in order to really follow the hot sign and whatnot, I have not found a way to e-scout for that. So I'm putting boots on the ground. Now, over the past couple seasons, I've kind of picked out some areas where I can troll for some target bucks throughout August and September. So I have a game plan going into October. But I'm not the guy that's putting hundreds of miles on throughout the summer. I would love to. But, you know, like we said, I got a family, I got work. If I want to prioritize having time in a tree, I got to prioritize the other things until it's time to be in a tree.
Yeah. Absolutely. So now you do a lot of scouting. You're out there hiking, finding out where they are. What do you do with your setup? Like how often are you out there shooting your bow? How often are you fine tuning your arrows and stuff like that?
I don't overthink it very much at all. With the recurve, I've I went down that rabbit hole a bit, which I'm going to be setting up these new arrows here soon. But with the compound, once I got the right arrows and dialed in and whatnot, I am not tweaking it. I don't even like getting new bows because I don't like to mess with them. I like to pick it up. I like to put the pin on my target. I like to shoot it and it hits where I want it to hit. And, you know, I like to weight train and, you know, all the exercise and fitness daily. And when it comes about August, that's high on my list to do daily as well, as shoot that bow and just get fluid with it. Now, in reality, it's probably 3 or 4 times a week. I'll hit spurts where it's every day. And, you know, the wife and kids, they like to shoot too. So we try to shoot as much as we can.
That's awesome that you can like incorporate your family into it. Cause I know my ex-wife never hunted, but I have 3 kids. I have 2 daughters and my son. And my oldest daughter's 12, and she's always out there shooting her bow with me. And like she shoots her bow. I got her a crossbow, hoping she'd want to hunt. And she's like, I don't want to use the crossbow, Dad. I'm like, deal.
Yeah.
Fine, that's cool. We'll sell it to Brett. He likes them.
My wife was the same way. I was like, well, let's just, I want you to be able to hunt in October. Why don't we get you a crossbow? And she's like, fuck that. So we got her set up with it's some kind of Hoyt. It's lefty.
The new RF
lower poundage. No. This one, it's older. I'm trying to look at it. It's the Clash or something. I don't know. But it's a great little bow, and she can shoot it. And then she got bit by the longbow bug as well.
Cool.
So she's been shooting that. But yeah, I love having the whole family invested in the outdoors. And if you watch any of my Whitetail Addictions episodes, there's typically family involvement in there as well.
I got a question for you real quick. What is your outlook? What I guess I'm going to say is, what's the hottest time for you to really like say, okay, I got to put the work aside, the kids aside. I really need to get out there. I mean, is it the rut? Are you trying to get in early season to get a deer down quick? I mean, what's your go-to? Like, you just tell yourself, I got to get out there, man.
I tell myself that every week, but leading up to the past 3 years, I would have said those first 2 weeks of October. Okay. And that was predominantly because I was hunting on the more agricultural land at the bottom of the mountains.
Yep.
And I was able to, the deer's not here. He's in Pennsylvania right now. I was able to kind of use a mock scrape I had set up off of a bed that I had kicked him out of.
Nice. And
pinpoint data. Mm-hmm. And I caught up with him pretty early in October using that method.
Yeah.
In the mountain, I have not found that to be as successful.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have had is that first week in November, when the bucks are starting to make their, dominant territory known.
Yep.
If I can capitalize on it before it's too late, which sounds, obvious, but
right.
In years past, I had found these areas in these, it's a little shortcut for them coming over a ridge into doe areas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was getting tore up that first and second week in November.
Yeah.
And I was always too late. So 2 years ago, I went in, before it was, knowing November 10th was too late, I went in November 5th. Yeah. And that's when I killed this guy and a bear in the same sit.
Oh, sweet.
Man. And then this past year, I did the same thing in another area on the mountain that was close to where that big buck I was hunting was. And I knew he was coming in and out of this thicket, and I was only getting him at night.
Mm-hmm.
So I pushed into the center of that thicket and found a good crossing coming off the neighboring property.
Nice.
Where he was dumping into that thicket, and I ended up seeing him first sit. So that first week when they're starting to get anxious and want to make their rounds, that has given me a lot of confidence in the past 2 seasons.
I had the same results here early on. We had a cold snap. The full moon was rising in the morning, and they went freaking absolutely crazy on the piece of land that I hunt here. The mountains where I hunt and stuff, I kind of set up the same way you do. It'll be mountain laurel, the thickets and stuff like that. And you'll get a saddle that'll connect 2 ridges. And a lot of times a buck will shortcut that over just with the crosswind in his nose. And he'll jump right over that and connect his ridges together, and they'll either that or they'll switch back up the side of a mountain and then connect to that and go up and over. But it's always a pinch point. Like I try to tell people, especially guys that hunt with me or when we're setting up, find those little connectors between those ridges because they're hot spots, especially if there's a bedding area down lower than that and the buck can get those thermals coming up to him.
Right.
I mean, it's a textbook kill zone. So you're right on it with that, man. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely, the one thing you can count on is them wanting to be flirting with the does and scent checking, and they're anxious. If you
They're
got
looking.
if you got a piece of ass like once a year, you'd be looking too.
Well, that's what Brett does.
I've been married for 26 years. It's close to that anyway. So
a piece of it.
Gotta make an arrangement. It's like, hey, maybe next Thursday, I'm in Rut, so can you come by?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Remember
once
me?
those kids come, it's basically, maybe tomorrow.
Nah.
I got a headache.
Is that what you tell her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So now you said you got a bear and a buck in the same sit. How? Yep. So I mean, we have a bear season here in Michigan, but how do the how do your seasons work out there in Virginia? Like,
so I don't know all the bear regulations. There's like an early week where people can run their dogs and I think kill them with rifles, and then after that it kind of coincides with the deer season. So when it's archery, you can kill them with a bow. When it's black powder, you can kill them with black powder, and when it's a rifle, it's fair game. And what's cool here is when it's black powder or rifle, you can hunt with the lesser weapon. So if you're a moron and you wanted to hunt with a muzzleloader during rifle season, you can do that. Yeah. And same for bow, which is what I choose to do. Yeah. As long as I have a target to chase, I really like to prefer to chase them with the bow, because I had a couple really good years with the rifle and just wanted that challenge. So that's typically black powder comes in, I think, the first Saturday in November. Yeah, because that's why. Yeah. And then rifle will be 2 weeks after that. So I guess that would be that third Saturday in November. And there's actually a split at the top of the mountain that I hunt and everywhere west of that. Yeah. The rifle season is only 2 weeks and then it drops back to primitive.
Oh, wow.
Whereas on my side of the mountain, from November 15th-ish, whatever Saturday's right around there, all the way until the first Saturday of January, everything is fair game, rifle, you name it.
Really?
Yep. And now the bears, I don't think bear season is open that whole time. It might break earlier. I'm not 100% on that. And turkeys you can hunt them with a bow and then Thanksgiving Day, but I think that's it. Yeah.
Now, how long does your whitetail season go for? Like, so I guess basically what I'm asking is, like, if I wanted to come out and do some bow hunting, like, when would how would my season look? Like,
so bow season here across the entire state is the opening that first Saturday in October until the first Saturday in January. And then there's some urban zones for doe management, and there might be a couple counties with special regulations, but pretty much across the board, you can bow hunt October through January. And we have a lot of public land. If you choose to push yourself and dive deep into mountains, we got a lot of mountains that are all public land. George Washington National Forest is like 2 million acres or something crazy like that, and it's broke up all over the state. So there's plenty of land if you're feeling adventurous.
So now I know, I mean, that would be fun to me. I would love that. Now, I know here in Michigan, bow hunting is second to gun hunting, hands down. I mean, from November 15th to December 1st, if you're a bow hunter, you might as well stay out of the woods. I mean, there's the Orange Army's coming in, right?
Yeah.
Now, is that how it is out in Virginia as well, or?
I'm fairly active on the social media, or at least from a visual standpoint. I try to scan the pages pretty regularly. There's very few of us that are dedicated to archery only. And I'm not taking anything from anybody. I used to love to blast deer with a rifle. Once rifle season is in, it's pretty much that's going to be what most people are choosing to take, especially on public, I would guess.
Bitterroot Reaper. Damn it.
He can't say
Every time,
it.
man. I can't fucking say it too.
No matter how many times you see it, it is not bitter root beer.
Because he sees root and then he sees ear at the end, so he's putting root beer together.
Exactly. I just Bitterroot root
Hey,
beer.
Bitterroot. Just change your name to Bitterroot root beer, and you'll be all set. We won't embarrass you anymore.
I'm sorry, Brian. I just don't want to say his name because I don't know, but he's going to be a guest on the show, and he asked where you're from, Zach, and I said he's from Virginia, and then he made the comment right here. Nice, I'll be out there this fall.
Awesome. Yeah, so that western part of the state is where most of that public land lies, which is going to be a short rifle season, and then back to, I believe, black powder or bow. I think you can do both throughout the remainder of the season. Black powder might fall off in early December. I could be wrong, but there's definitely plenty of land to chase them, and there's some big boys that die in those mountains.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Yep.
How are the licenses out there? Like, is there a draw? Is it just buy?
To my knowledge, it's 100% over the counter. You can go to Walmart. You can go online. Non-resident. Last I haven't looked at it because I'm a resident, but I think it's like $238 is really sticking out in my head. It sounds really random. And then typically license and tags is separate. I know for us as a resident, our tags are like $23 and you get 6 deer, and turkeys. Bear is now separate. It's another $18 for a bear tag, I believe.
Bitterroot Reaper. I got that one, Brett.
Thank you.
No problem. I'll be near Max Meadows, close to North Carolina.
If that's in the western or southwestern part of the state, that's going to be some gnarly mountains, and some beautiful terrain, and definitely a chance to get on some big deer.
Awesome. We are going to take a quick break real quick and run a commercial break. Then once we get back, we will jump right back in on this conversation. Hey, go ahead and season your meat with something great. Try Flavors of the Forest Raw Garlic Dust, made with only the finest ingredients for the finest wild game. Go ahead and use promo code Whitetail to save 15% on your next purchase. Go check them out.
Hey guys, how are you? It's the Squatch from the Whitetail Advantage. Hey, listen, have you guys tried rec broadheads yet? Well, if you haven't, you're really missing out. I've been shooting rec now for over a year, and I'll tell you what, they fly straight, they fly true, and they're deadly, deadly on a deer. You can get the HXPs, you can get the FX4s, or you can just get the regular HPs. Guys, take it from the Squatch. The guys here at Whitetail Advantage, you can't go wrong with the rec broadheads. If you tune in, you watch our show, you can use the discount code for rec, WA15. And that'll give you 15% off your purchase. And you guys tell them that the Whitetail Advantage and the Squatch sent you. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. The show's going to be great. Squatch out.
Hey, you guys have a passion for the outdoors? You faith-based and love bow hunting? Go check out Bow Addicts. It's BOWADX. Genesis 27:3 says, take your bow and a quiver full of arrows. Go out into the open country to hunt some wild game for me. While we all love to go out and hunt wild game, we'd love to also wear it and represent what we believe. So go check out Bow Addicts and use promo code WHTADV10 to save 10% off your next purchase. That's WHTADV10 at checkout. Tell them the Whitetail Advantage crew sent you.
I just have to say,
That was
to start the commercial with, hey, Season your meat stick.
Oh, yeah.
You want to
Never a
season your meat
stick.
stick.
Season your meat. You're the one
And then-
thinking about the stick part.
And then there's a comment here, Justin. I saw John showing some food porn with his flavors of the forest seasoning and sausages.
Dude,
Sausages. Sausage. Motherfucker.
Sausage.
I know words. Sausage. I can't. Fuck me, man.
Dude, I'm always cooking with that stuff. It's amazing. And then I found this podcast. So we were talking earlier about like Sasquatch and Bigfoot and all that stuff. I'm a huge believer in that stuff. I love all that. So I listen to a lot of the podcasts. And this one podcast I listened to, it's called Where the Weird Ones Are.
Yep.
And I went on their website and they have this sauce, like the hot sauce. They have this blueberry hot sauce that's just amazing on venison. So I've been using the shit out of that.
I gotta get it.
It's so good. And then I did a pork chops with they have a green apple salsa, like a green apple hot sauce, and dude, that's amazing on pork.
I've been doing lines of the
apples.
garlic. I just do I take the Bigfoot breath, I sprinkle it out, I do a line of it,
Oh, dude, yeah.
Get it up the nose to start out, and then I cook with it. It's freaking
Puts
awesome.
hair in your knuckles, that's for sure.
Ah, look.
Flavors of the forest. They commented. Now he has an awesome apron to go with his garlic, and so does
Yeah.
Squash.
Yeah, I
I
got
got my apron today.
I love
I'm
it.
going to post a couple pictures of it here in a little bit.
I'm trying to get the videos going so I can get my fucking apron finally.
Well,
You should.
making cereal with garlic in it ain't gonna work, bro. You got to learn how to cook.
Sounds good though.
Cheerios and garlic ain't gonna work, man.
I'm surprised you didn't say pancakes and garlic.
Well, I can pancakes and garlic. They ain't gonna work.
Oh, man. All
Yeah,
right,
fine.
back to the hunting, I guess, right? That's what we're all here for. That's what everyone wants.
Come on, I was just
Yeah, that's
having
what they
fun
want.
picking on Brett, man. Damn
But
it.
we're not getting there.
Right? Yeah, I know. Everyone tunes in to watch the hunting stuff, but
We always start going off the deep end, but go ahead.
Yeah, they tune in for
It's easy
good
to
quality education and information, and all right, yeah. And then it just turns into bashing on Brett and sleeping in and shit. So it's like, I don't know. That's
that's pretty much
see,
it.
you see, Zach, I started this shit to be very fun, educational, and informative, and then it just turned into, I don't know, and it just make fun of
Beat
me.
up on Brett. Yeah.
Exactly. I pulled them on the team. I was like, hey, I think these guys would be great. And next thing I know, they just bash me every time they come on the show.
Not like herpes, you can't get rid of us.
Hey, Brett. Nobody
I'm going
cares.
golfing.
Nobody cares. Work harder.
Oh man. So you mentioned something earlier, Zach, about you're hunting like 4 feet off the ground because of rules, right? Or laws, right?
No. The encounter with the deer was the law there. The height was strictly by preference due to kind of an open. The upper canopy was fairly open, and I knew I was playing a close quarters game, and so I stayed in that kind of lower zone of all the crap, brush, and everything. Yeah.
Okay. So now, having the encounter with the deer, what was going on with that?
So I think it was 2 days earlier. I had that encounter with the mega buck that I was hunting, which ended up being like a 150-inch 8-pointer, which we don't get many 8-pointers over 140. So he was super old, super heavy, and super tall. And I'd been after him for 3 years. He was a 10-pointer that was a slammer, and then over the course of 2 years, dropped 2 points, but just added mass. So it was super cool. But I had him at 15 yards, like I said, in that same little thicket opening. And that didn't happen. It didn't go the way I wanted. Didn't kill him. He went away. But my next sitting there, I set up in a nearby tree. The wind was different, so I set up on the opposite side of the trail so that if he did come into range, I would at least get a shot before he gets a chance to smell me. And as I'm sitting there, I see some tines working through the thicket and get all excited, and the rack kind of pushes its way in, and he steps out, and it was not the buck that I was hunting, but I am in a Ernebuck County. So I had one buck tag at the time, and I would have to kill another doe before I could kill another buck. You can kind of stack them up. So if you killed 2 does right out the gate, you'd have all 3 of your buck tags, and then you could, it would have been fair game. But I did not want to shoot that buck, which I would be totally tickled with any other day. For whatever reason, as soon as I saw it, as it wasn't the buck that I was after, I just wasn't super jacked up, and I elected to film him. Got awesome footage, and I'm still happy with that decision because, man, if I had shot that deer and 30 minutes later that buck I've been chasing for 3 years stepped through, that would have been a dicey call.
That would have been turn the camera off and then.
I just don't even want to put myself in a position like that, So.
Oh, absolutely.
I elected to not shoot the deer. Hindsight, I would have loved to shot the deer. I think he died. Actually, I think I'm pretty sure he's a deer that's in one of the hunter success pictures off my mountain. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure every deer that I had a good encounter with is dead. One got hit on the interstate.
Oh, boy.
The other got killed by the guys running the bear on the mountain, and then I'm pretty sure the other one, the 10-pointer, was also killed. But there's plenty to go around. I don't own the mountain, so there's nothing to be upset about.
Hey,
Can I get your input on what you think of that Ernebuck stuff?
I had a question. Fuck me, I guess.
We'll get there. The Ernebuck is clearly pushing to manage the doe population, which we are severely over on does. Now in the mountains,
to help with the doe population.
Yes, because people want to kill bucks, but in order to kill a buck, you got to shoot another doe.
But don't you think like if you got a spot where you're really like on a buck that you're honed in on, and you start contaminating it with doe, it kind of ruins your spot sometimes. I mean, I don't think I like it. I mean, I know in Jersey they do it up here. Like I'm in New York, but over in Jersey they do that Ernebuck, and my buddy hates
I don't like it.
Yeah, my buddy hates it, man. He's like, I got to shoot a freaking doe, and I got this buck there. I'm going to get blood all over the ground, or maybe she's a hot doe, and I'm going to screw it up and screw up my spot. I mean, I don't understand it, why certain states do it, because like New York here where I am, you get doe tags, and it's like, shoot the does, and I don't like to shoot a doe early on because you got to rush. It's hot. Got to get the thing hung up. It's a freaking pain in the ass. I want to shoot a doe when it's cold. I can stack them in the garage hanging and go out and get another one, not have to rush to get them cut up. I don't agree with it. I just don't like it. I think it's a pain in the ass.
See, that's people like you and myself are going to kill the does anyway because we're trying to fill the freezer. There's a lot of guys that are only worried about the rack and will only kill bucks. So that's not helping the population at all. So I think it's that reason is the reason behind it, but I hate it. You know what I mean? Because I'm already going to kill those when it's convenient to me.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, I like to keep them around. I don't want to kill them right off the bat.
Yep.
Justin commented, too many does seem to run out the bucks at least until the rut.
For every,
I don't know that it runs them out.
But do you think that they should go to what?
No, I was going to say every buck that you kill, you should kill 2 doe. That keeps your area in check. So every buck that you shoot, kill 2 doe.
I know that here, we have enough does that it makes it harder. Like during the rut, if you have a fewer amount of does, then I feel like the bucks are going to be, more visible because they're constantly looking. Whereas if you have a bunch of does and you're hunting, the mountain like I got, they can stick with 10 does in one thicket, unless they're really chasing. And they're all over the place anyway, but having too many does, they're definitely not going to have to search as hard.
Yeah.
And they won't be on their feet the same as with a properly managed population.
Well, the problem I see with that too is when you got a buck that's in a family area that grew up in that spot where you're watching him early on, if there's a lot of doe, it's his kin. So nature tells him, go away. Now you drove that buck because all those does you don't have like a different family orientation in those does in that area. He's with his family. He knows not to breed those does. So he runs off the property. You've been watching him all August, September. Next thing you know, he's on somebody else's property. But sometimes you get a buck that, makes his way in from another adjoining property or something like that. So it kind of goes both ways. But I, guys that are out there hunting, man, shoot them freaking does, kill them one later season or whatever. But I'm just so glad New York don't have that earn a buck crap. I would be really pissed because early season when I start watching my estrus does, I know when they're there. I know what I got to, when that buck's going to come in there. If I had to shoot one of them, it would screw up stuff so bad. It would just like drive you nuts, man. So I give you a lot of credit for having to do that down there. Baby Brett, what did you have to add, or what was your little question you wanted to ask?
Well, I have my own question, but to ask a question off of that, we'll get to my question in a second. Do you think that they should switch it from earn a buck to like you just have one buck tag?
No,
No,
I don't
think so.
I mean, if we did that, we would probably see substantial increase in 150 plus deer.
Uh-huh.
But no, I don't like that.
Do you have antler restriction where you are?
I think there might be county by county, but not in my county. No, you can shoot spikes all you want.
Yeah, because where I am, there's no antler restriction. But if I go like 20 minutes up to the next spot where the next zone is, they have a 3-point antler restriction. It has to have 3 up on one side. And that's up in the mountains. That's kind of like where I hunt sometimes too. And it has benefited the population of the bucks up there. I mean, we're really starting to see some like 150s, 160s, good quality deer. Here, they don't do it because the zone I'm in actually goes south. And there's a lot of deer. I mean, I'm in a farm zone. I'm on orchards and stuff here. So they're like, have at it. Just kill the freaking deer. There's too many. So,
John, he got 2 extra questions. I didn't approve of this.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Go ahead and do one of those hurt feeling reports now. I'll report them up.
Well, thank you. Before we get to my question, we have a question from Anthony. How many buck tags do y'all usually get where you're at?
So I mentioned there's a split at the top of my mountain from the western side of the state and the eastern side of the state. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 on our license. It's 2 buck tags, and then 1 buck tag that's east of the Blue Ridge. So I get 3. Now I'm told, regardless of where you kill your first 2 bucks, your 3rd buck cannot be on national forest anywhere in the state. So if you're hunting just national forest, I think that limits you to 2. I was a bit confused by that, and that was on one of the local Virginia Public Land Hunters pages, and that was the first I'd heard of that. So yeah, it's something about and most of our national forest is on the western side of the state. But yeah, there's something about you can't use that 3rd tag in a national forest or on the western side of the state. Kind of an odd one there.
I got a question. Are you allowed to bait where you are?
No baiting, and minerals were acceptable.
Okay.
They might still be until September. They've never been allowed during season.
Okay. Gotcha.
We had a bit of a disease scare a couple of years ago, and I can't remember if they just totally erased minerals, or if you can still do it until September. Either way, I don't mess with it.
Okay.
I don't use any minerals or bait. Cool. There's too much food up there already. So
nice.
Brett, go ahead, man.
Who's Brett?
I'd like to ask a question tonight. Fuck. But
yeah,
before that, we get to Brian's comment. Funny, APRs do not work in the West. Anyone listening, he's from Idaho. Particularly with elk and mule deer, been proven not helpful repeatedly by multiple states.
Antler point restrictions?
Yep.
Yeah.
Percentage rates of mule deer.
Yeah.
All right, Brett, what was your question, man?
I don't know if I fucking remember at this point.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I remember. Zach, do you think that the money for your licenses, like the fees and all that stuff, is being used properly in conservation out there in Virginia?
That's a good question. I don't know what they would be doing in terms of hunting, but I know that they're stocking our lakes with some pretty banging fish. But I honestly, to answer that, I don't know.
Mm.
I've never felt like we're getting robbed.
Mm.
So,
do you feel like they're listening to you as hunters? Because we say it all the time here on our show. Here in Michigan, it just seems like our people in government and on the conservation side of it all, they don't want to listen to us at all. Do they want to listen to you guys in Virginia?
I've never felt like there's been a constant issue that's been handled. The only feud that we have going on here is, and it's very foreign to Midwest and northern states, is that we actually have the ability to run dogs for deer hunting here.
I've heard that before.
I have my own feelings about it. It's just not how I want to hunt. As long as they do it respectfully, it is what it is. But that is a really divisive topic here amongst hunters. And unfortunately, I don't know how the wardens and conservation will handle that, because it's more among hunters than it is. It's nobody yelling at the conservation officers telling them we need something changed. If it is, it's both sides. So I don't think I don't see an issue with how our Virginia Department of Inland Fisheries is doing anything wrong here.
There's a question here from Anthony. He's been kind of a dick to me in the comments. I don't even know if I want to read his question now. No, I'm just kidding. Anthony asks, what, if any, huntable invasive species do you have out by you?
Chupacabras for sure. A bunch of those. Nice. No, we don't have any hogs, but we do have coyotes, and that's pretty much it. We got snakeheads coming in. If you like to bow fish, snakeheads are awesome. I had the chance to do that with a guy in Baltimore, but we have them here in Virginia too.
Cool.
In a couple of our lakes and river systems.
They pop up all over. We got it in here too, in some of our ponds and lakes.
Yeah, we've got them up here in Michigan.
Yeah,
I have a good buddy that is in the bow fishing. His buddy, my buddy's buddy, has a whole thing stacked out for bow fishing, and he did it once and just fell in love with it. And I've been trying to get him to go take me out there, and I haven't been able to have a chance to go out there just yet. But man, it sounds like a fucking blast.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of going with Working Class Outdoorsman. He's him and my other buddy Garrett Benner, who's the Modern Assassin on Instagram, and they've taken Tim Wells out. Like, they got a sweet rig. That was, to go out on a pretty. I may be misunderstanding, but I think they were kind of one of the first to really do it right in their area. And now it's a huge thing up there. But to go out with them, who clearly know what the hell they're doing and doing a good job of it, that was awesome.
What was the name you just said?
The Working Class Outdoorsman is the page.
No,
and then
the
Garrett Benner is the Modern Assassin. He's done some hunts with Tim Wells.
That's who it is.
And they took Tim Wells on their boat, shooting blue cats out in the middle of some salt water brackish thing.
There's a couple of comments here. We'll get to them here in a second. But before I forget, we were talking about squatches at the beginning of the show. I believe it was Tim Wells. Him and another hunter, they were out hunting in Colorado, I believe.
Yeah.
And they actually there was a video of them thinking they found Sasquatch.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember how long ago that was. I just saw the video and just more shocked of because everything in the video just looked fucking real. And it's been driving my brain crazy all night. Like, who the fuck was it? I know it was Ted Nugent. Like he was
Ted
with his
Nugent.
podcast. Yeah, I was like, who the
Ted
fuck
Nugent would have
is?
stuck it, dude.
The fucking thing would have been dead. Are you kidding me?
And over a fire, just roasting.
And he would have wrote a song about it. So
Hell yeah, he would have.
Some comments here. Anthony, have yet to get a snakehead, but would love a chance at one. All of you guys are welcome to come down here for access year round. We've actually been. It was Johnny's idea. We're actually going to be trying to go this year to go axis hunting.
Yeah, that's Anthony right there, man.
that's Texas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anthony Dickhead Jareski.
Hey, you gotta thank him for his service too, man.
Hey, thank you for your service, though, brother. We still we're gonna fuck with each other. Chris makes a comment. The Sasquatch knows all the secrets.
So once the podcast is over, we'll have to have a talk about all the secret spots and actually where to really go to hunt. So
Justin asked where Anthony's located. We just said that, Texas. And yeah.
all right. So we're hit that hour mark now. So time for some questions here. We're gonna have one round of hunt, fight, and befriend. So it's a new segment that we came up with. I'm going to give you 3 animals. You have to hunt one, fight one, and you have to befriend one. Okay?
Okay. All right.
All right. So you have a gorilla, you have a Cape buffalo, and you have a Kodiak bear.
Man. All right. I'm befriending the gorilla. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I got into this grip strength thing, and I learned that, like Brian Schaaf, you guys know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
He's 6'9", 400 pounds, 18% body fat, and a freaking monster.
Just
His grip strength is like, well, he is, but he's a giant. He's very strong. The closest thing we have to a gorilla, probably. And his grip strength was like 240 pounds.
Wow.
And a gorilla is 700. So, and all they do is eat bamboo and throw their own crap. Amazing. So I'm going to befriend the gorilla because I don't want to get squeezed by that. I'm going to hunt the buffalo because we actually have some Italian water buffaloes local to here, and they've killed anything that goes in their pen. So They're pretty gnarly. Yeah, they're gnarly.
Wow.
And, that leaves me fighting a bear. As long as I got a good knife, I'll probably die anyway, but I'll take the shot.
Hell yeah. Right on, man. Right on.
It still haunts me to this day, the sound of the actual audio clip of that. What's his name?
Timothy Treadwell.
Yeah, Treadwell. Of him getting eaten alive with his girlfriend, fiance, whatever.
Yeah, his girlfriend. That dude is a fucking idiot, though.
What, that wackadoo that went camping and got killed by the grizzly bear?
Yeah.
If I remember right, he was a meth head dude, and he sobered up and went out there in Alaska with all these bears. And next thing you know, he's trying to say, "Oh, well, that's Rebecca and that's Susie." I don't know.
It's
dumb.
Ridiculous.
Yep. You know what that bear was? He wasn't late to dinner, so he ate that night.
All right, now
there's a comment here.
Time for some rapid fire questions here, Zach.
Hang on. I gotta pull the comment.
Oh, what do we got?
That's pretty good.
So fucked.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, Justin, that's why you don't take the girl on the rag. That's right, brother. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Brett.
Who's always on the rag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got him to stop laughing. All right. Man. So rapid fire questions here. Besides hunting, do you have any other hobbies or interests?
Yep, fishing for sure. Largemouth.
That's what we call Brett too. So
what?
That's what we call you too. Largemouth. All right.
Asshole.
What wild game animal is on your bucket list to hunt?
man, like top of the bucket list is those mountain goats, big white ones, you know, with the that or a ram, big old ram. I drive Dodge Rams. I want to shoot one too.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Look,
Yep.
are you talking
That
about
would
like,
be way up there.
like an ibex?
That's
The
way
ibex
too
is the ones that go
sophisticated.
all-
I just like the big curly, you know, like a Dodge Ram.
He wants a Rocky
Okay.
Mountain bighorn sheep. That's what he's looking for.
Yes,
big horn
sir.
sheep.
Yeah.
Big horn sheep. Yep.
All
That
right.
and those scruffy white mountain goats.
That would be
Those things
cool.
are pretty cool. Yeah.
People-
But you know, those are pricey.
You laugh.
Oh,
People have
dude,
been,
yeah.
they've been calling me that. Scruffy white mountain goat. That's
Oh, I thought you were going to say pricey.
no,
No,
I'm
we
not.
call
I'm
you
not
ugly
pricey. I'm
fuckhead.
cheap. I'm cheap. What was that,
We-
Mr. Bovin?
We call you
Factor?
ugly fuckhead.
Okay, Pumpkinhead. It's all right.
What is a wild game animal you'd like to try one day? Like,
To eat?
yeah.
Ooh. I've eaten quite a few. That's a tricky one. Man, what's a delicacy that you know not many people get to eat?
Johnny,
I've had
run
elk
yours,
and
Johnny.
bison and
So my go-to is like a giraffe neck roast.
oh,
I mean, worldwide here. That's my go-to. Or like the bat
Is that
strap.
good?
Like, what's that?
is that good? Like, do people?
You'd think it would be. I've never had it. But I mean, that's like my one animal that I would go to.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
close over here. Red stag in the mountains of New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm
That
down for
roaring-
that.
Yeah.
That would be a fun hunt right
That
there.
was from Chris Bitterroot. There are some decent draw off in Idaho for California and Rocky Bighorns.
Okay.
That'd be a fun
Okay.
hunt.
Knock that off the list this year then.
What amazes me is when they shoot them, how far do they fall and tumble down the
Yes.
mountain? The meat is already freaking tenderized. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
Get
Oh,
your
dude,
flavors,
that's
of course, sprinkle it on it, throw it on the grill, and it's ready to go. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What is the top state, or I'm sorry, what has been your favorite state to hunt and why?
So I've only hunted Virginia and Illinois. I love the mountains, but it is nice to take like a sweet rutcation in Illinois. I see, you know, more bucks in a week in Illinois than on public, pressured at that,
Mhm.
than I do here in the whole season. So that's a ton of fun, obviously. And this year specifically, the buck I was chasing that I was telling you about, he was all over my SD card cams that week I was gone. So, you know, there's pros and
that's how it
cons
goes.
to leaving. Yeah, for sure. But no, I do really like hunting Illinois. I did do one bow hunt for elk in Colorado, and those mountains are super rewarding to climb all over too. So that's a tough one. I do like my mountains, but if it's strictly deer, Illinois is a lot of fun, and I do like Illinois.
Right on.
Cool, man.
White goats are the worst for falling off cliffs. Absolutely, man.
They go down like a slinky, man. They're like,
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't imagine they're still in one piece, but
Oh, for sure.
And
Now, what
Anthony,
is it?
Anthony
is
said
it?
they have Audette in Texas.
Dude, there's everything in Texas, man.
And the only
So-
reason I know they had Audette in Texas, because I remember talking to Zach about this, about Kip Campbell.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Audette, he went down there to hunt them in Texas. That's the only way I knew they had Audette in Texas. I didn't even know what that was until they showed it on the show. I was like,
Dude,
what the
that'd be-
fuck is that? It's like a weird sheep, like
Yeah.
mini sheep ram thing. Bison, all in like combo of one.
Dude, bet it tastes good.
how are they? Are they good? Who said that? Anthony?
Yeah.
Anthony. I heard
Anthony,
they
are they
I heard
good?
they didn't. If I remember right, I heard they didn't taste good.
Oh no, it tastes like an old sock or something.
Right.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Anthony knows more than what I do, obviously.
All right. Now, what is the top state you want to hunt next and why?
Iowa being as strict as it is and hard to get to makes it that much more alluring. So I'm going to say that. But every time I drive through West Virginia and see some of their mountains,
Yep.
even North Carolina for that matter, has some gnarlier mountains than you think. It really makes me want to chase those guys around their mountains too.
Yeah. I seen a slammer when I drove through West Virginia to go out to Ohio. Man, these guys had one on the side of the road. There was people almost wrecking in the highway. We were like, look at that buck. Holy shit. Things like my son's driving the truck. He goes, look. I said, yeah, I see him. And the guy next to us is in the median, like, counter steering. We're like, holy crap. We almost had a car wreck for that deer that was there, It's awesome, man.
They got some slammers.
Oh, they do, man. They do.
So that's definitely on the list, but I'm building points for Iowa too. So
Iowa, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, for sure. All right.
Real quick, Anthony said they don't taste great.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Add some flavors of the forest to them. Make them
Bingo.
tasty. Yeah.
Bingo.
If you could pick anybody to go on a hunting trip or share a campfire with, who would that person be?
I rarely get to actually do anything cool like that with my wife. So I'm gonna throw her out there. And it will happen one day, but with a 5 and a 3-year-old, one of us has to stay with the kids. So looking forward to that,
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
If you could bring one loved one who's passed away to go on a hunt or to share a campfire with, who would that person be and why?
That's a tricky one. None of my grandfather. Well, my grandfather's still alive. Both of them. Yeah, I don't have anybody, honestly.
Okay, so then we're gonna change it up.
Sorry,
dude. That's awesome, man.
That's good. That's good.
What famous person, living or dead, would you bring on a hunt with?
You could say Brett Boven. It's all right. He'd be honored.
I was talking about The Rock today, but he could carry a deer out for me. That'd be pretty cool.
Dude, if I'm going to use The Rock, I'm going to go on like an elk hunt.
Somebody else said The Rock we had on too. Somebody else, like recently, said The Rock. Yeah, go on with The Rock.
I feel like he'd carry him out.
And I think that was the reason why they chose The Rock.
Let's throw Brian Shaw or the Mountain in there too.
Dude, yeah. Eddie Hall would be awesome.
Nah,
Eddie Hall. But I think
bring back Macho Man.
Oh, dude. Oh. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of his reels.
Yeah. Well, Dude,
you and coffee in the morning.
That would have to be like a duck hunt or something, so you could just fuck around in the blind with them and wait till the birds fly over.
When Macho Man was high on coke and methamphetamines in the 80s, when I used to watch him, he could run down a deer and probably break its neck. He was that crazy.
You're probably right. Well, I was thinking Shaw and some of the strongmen, they probably wouldn't make it up in the mountains as well as
Justin.
Could you imagine
as well as The Rock? So
like Macho Man, Randy Savage, and then Chris Farley all coked out of their minds on a hunting trip? That would be a fun time.
That would be a trip, man.
So yeah, if anyone ever asked me on this show, that's who I'm going to choose. All right, what do you think we as fellow hunters could or should do to improve the hunting community?
Man, one of my favorite things is getting people into bow hunting or hunting in general, and I think a lot of us are too caught up in our own hunt to do that. And I think it's really important, especially some of the younger generation, to, especially if somebody starts asking the questions, take the time and then take the next step and actually help them through it. One of my most rewarding, things in hunting has been, there was a guy in my fire department who he was military, did several tours. I don't know what he did, but the last one kind of shook him a bit. And it was hunting season, and me and a bunch of the old guys at the fire department were talking about hunting, and And he's like, yeah, I'd like to try hunting. You know, I've never tried hunting anything that wasn't hunting me back. And I was like, well, I'll take you, man.
Mhm.
And he came and he ended up killing a 4-pointer or something. And, you know, seeing that spark, you know, he really enjoyed that and continued to do it from there on. But someone needed to be there to help push it. And
Mhm.
I think that's huge. And I think people need to be doing that.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's going to die out.
One
absolutely.
one thing I'm going to say it now. I don't care about keeping it as a secret. We came up with this idea of starting 2 camps. It's the first one's basically our new hunters initiation type program that we want to start up, getting youth and new hunters involved in outdoors and showing them everything it is about hunting. And we talk about how hunting is basically this elaborate type thing. We make it out to be this scientific, extremely hard thing to do. In reality, it's just going out in the tree and hunting. Basically, it's very simplistic, and it's not what we make everything out to be. And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to help people get out in the woods and do that program. We also want to do another program where Johnny kind of led this part of the idea of this camp of doing more of stuff with veterans and veterans with disabilities, get them involved in hunting, and not even just hunting. We just want to be able to be an outlet for veterans as well. I mean, we just want to be able to kick around, hang out for 2 days, talk about whatever they want to talk about. And just kind of be like a quote unquote therapy session, basically. But we also want to get them involved in hunting.
Yeah.
That's basically what we're going to do at a nutshell of it. We have a lot of things working into it. It's something that we're going to be trying to do next year because we wanted to get run and started this year, but things came up. We looks like we won't be able to get run started this year, but next year we're going to be actually trying to push to get it started next year with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I got a good buddy in South Carolina, Bobby Edwards. His Instagram is For His Glory Outdoors, and he has a program specifically for that. He'll take any number of veterans out, and I think he's gone to Illinois and several other places and puts people in some deer and has a great time doing it. And I plan to accompany him someday with a group of guys into the mountains or something. So
Cool.
super cool. And I love that idea.
Well, awesome, Zach. I appreciate you coming on tonight. You know, had a blast. You have anything else, Brett? Sprotch?
No, I think I'm good, man.
You want me to do the conclusion part of the show?
Yeah, go for it, brother. I'll let you do something tonight.
Zach, thanks, man, for coming on the show, brother. For people that want to reach out to you, follow your journey, how can they find you, man?
So you spoke in your intro about people being shadow banned and censored. Unfortunately, my Instagram is one of those. So you'll have to. My Instagram is @stash_squatch. I don't think I'm even searchable. So you'll have to check the tags from either this post or any number of posts on Lone Wolf Custom Gear's page. And Facebook is fairly personal, but you can find me on a Facebook group that we run, which is Mobile Hunters United. It's a good tactics-based page. And additionally, all my videos and hunts can be viewed on the Lone Wolf Custom Gear YouTube channel under the Whitetail Addictions series of videos.
I know you were shadow banned because when I tried looking up we were texting, I was trying to find you on Instagram. I couldn't find you.
Yeah, that was actually, you were the first person that helped me discover that. Another guy I met at the gym, we were wearing this exact shirt, and he was like, "Hey, do you hunt?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so he was like, "You got Instagram?" And he went to find me, and sure enough, I was standing there with him, and it was gone.
Gone.
So yeah, my account's there and whatever, but the government does what the government wants, I guess. Or
government does what the government wants. That's for sure.
What was the reasoning? Did you pursue it?
No, I don't even know where you can find out anything.
On Instagram, you can go into your settings and look for how to reach them. I had some stuff they had on there, and it was a turkey hunt I had on there for shooting a turkey. There wasn't even any blood. I think it's because I had the shotgun across my arms and like sitting next to the turkey, and they frowned upon it. Where the hell did Brett go?
I don't know, man. He's gone.
Oh, geez. Well, we'll run the freaking show.
Yeah, we'll run it.
We can figure it out. We'll be all right.
Absolutely. Squatch, let everyone know where they can find you, brother.
So you guys all know you can find me on Instagram on Outdoors and More with the Squatch. On my YouTube channel, Outdoors and More with the Squatch. Been dropping some predator hunting videos on there. It's that time of the year again up here in New York. I've been after them. I've whacked 2 foxes already. Got to get the coyotes. They were here last night in the backyard. We'll see what the hell happens with that. You can find me always on Whitetail Advantage twice a week. And you can find me on the Garden State Outdoorsman with those fellas, who's a rocking bunch, Mike Nitre, Frankie Mustika, and all the rest of the group, man. You guys can check us out there.
Right on. You guys can find me on Instagram under Johnny_Nitro_Night. And that's my only spot, man. Besides that, and at work, that's where I'm at.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, and someone else is back.
Da, da, da. Where can we
I don't
find
know what-
Brett? He's right there.
I'm back and alive, I guess. I don't know. Like our internet just went down for a second. We've had internet connections for the last 2 days.
Well,
so-
it's that ice storm that should be coming in any time now. So
yeah, so luckily we had the show before the ice storm, so I'm looking forward to that.
right, Brett, tell everyone where they can find you.
Whitetail Advantage. Find us on Instagram, Facebook page. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You also find us on Carbon TV and
Waypoint.
Waypoint. And also don't forget to put your quarter in the slot machine.
That's right. All right, everyone. You guys have a good night. And Brett, go ahead and do the outro.
All right. See you.